Bread for the soul. Act I, the quiet baking hour. In a small bakery on a sleepy street corner, dawn painted the sky in pale gold, casting a soft glow on the cobbled streets. The serenade of birds waking filled the morning air, mingling with the comforting aroma of freshly baked bread. Manuel, an immigrant baker, felt his spirit lift as he stood alone in his humble oven-lit sanctuary. With skill and steadiness, he pressed his hands into dough. A rhythmic prayer begun at 4 a.m., a sacred ritual imbued with cadence and quiet devotion. Each knead became a silent release, each fold a whispered liturgy of hope to God. Lord of mercy, guide my hands, give these loaves your warmth. He murmured, words rising like the steam from his oven, ephemeral yet eternal. Beneath the comforting routine, however, simmered a quiet crisis. Just blocks away, a large industrial competitor had opened its stainless steel doors, its brightly lit windows beckoning his once loyal patrons like moths to a flame. The bakery's empty chairs and quiet mornings echoed this new reality, his sigh mingling with the methodical rhythm of his work. Pausing, he rested his hands on the dough, grounding himself in the age-old practice that followed. Holy One, I need your help. Show me the path, for I am weary. The words were spoken not in despair, but in a faith birthed from necessity. The unseen rival. As the bakery doors opened with a soft chime, a gentle light bathed the shop, filtering through the large window panes. Customers trickled in at a leisurely pace, drawn by the scent of bread, the promise of warmth on a cool morning. Yet beneath their cheerful exchanges, Manuel's heart remained heavy with worry. A worry that shadowed each transaction, each courteous smile outside a figure hesitated. A woman whose silhouette was both unfamiliar and familiar all at once. A rival baker named Lucia. Her eyes held a plea, sincere and humble. As she crossed the threshold of his domain, approaching the counter, she said softly, "Forgive my intrusion, but we've run out of flour. Could you spare some?" Her gentle request lingered, enveloping the space between them. Taken aback, Manuel's first instinct was caution, his mind quickly assessing the implications, yet an unseen hand seemed to brush against his heart, urging him to look beyond the immediate. He saw a story reflected in her eyes, one not so different from his own nodding. He surprised himself. "Take what you need," he said, his voice steady, resonating with a generosity that surpassed understanding. The exchange was simple yet profound, a transaction not of commerce, but of compassion. The turning prayer as daylight into the embrace of night. Manuel sat alone beneath the dim illumination of the bakery's light, the shadows of his decisions stretching across the floor like unspoken questions. How could he help a competitor when his own livelihood was hanging by a thread? Yet the kindness he offered seemed to stir something deeper within, a seed planted in soil he did not yet understand. On his knees he prayed, a whisper, a confession of vulnerability and trust. "Shepherd of my soul, I am unsure I have given, and yet I fear. Help me see through your eyes, to trust in your wisdom beyond my own. As he lingered in the silence, a peace unexpected and promising washed over him, smoothing the rough edges of doubt in the quiet of that sacred moment. He sensed God's gentle guidance, urging him to let go of fear clinging tight to his chest. Courage welled up from a place not of certainty but of faith, transcending the immediate concerns of the day. He rose, his heart lighter, ready to embrace whatever was to come. Bread blessed. The next day, as dawn painted the sky with soft hues, a change palpable as the morning mist filled the air, Manuel's bakery began to draw new faces, each step taken by an invisible thread of community. Woven from shared kindness, Lucia returned, gratitude shining in every gesture, her presence a testament to the power of small acts of generosity. She brought freshly baked loaves to share, placing them on the counter beside his, a tapestry of flavors and stories, speaking without words. In sharing what little he had, Manuel found not just a new ally, but a community redefining itself, not through competition, but through a shared human spirit. Word spread of the bakery's warmth and welcome, whispering through the town, inviting people not just for bread, but for connection, for the grace and kindness of a story where all played a part. Gracious Lord, who taught us to love beyond barriers, guide our hands to serve, our hearts to trust. Let every loaf we share carry your blessing, teaching us that in giving we receive your grace. Amen. The echo of solitude. Rain whispers against the stained glass windows, a gentle percussion to the night's quiet. I push my mop across the cathedral's marble floors, each stroke soothing and familiar. Cool air slips through a half-open window, carrying the earthy scent of wet soil and distant thunder. My labor echoes through the vast space, a companion to my solitude. In this rhythm there's solace, sweeping away my inadequacy, leaving a polished surface, the cathedral. With its towering arches and flickering votive candles is a holy refuge where time feels suspended. Here, amid stone and silence, I imagine the divine might notice me. The organist arrives unnoticed, his presence shifting the atmosphere. As music begins to vibrate through the air, I pause, leaning on the mop handle, closing my eyes to let the music envelop me like an unspoken prayer. Lord of mercy, the words come unbidden. Do you see me? A night shift janitor yearning for more. Is there purpose beyond these walls? A cry in the night. The music swells into a sweeping crescendo, then fades, leaving reverent silence. My heart feels exposed, each beat a plea to the Almighty. I am lost. I confess softly, like the tentative steps of a fawn. The rain taps against the windows, echoing my whispered supplication. Dropping to my knees on the cold stone floor, the chill seeps through my jeans. The weight of the night shift heavy on my shoulders. Lord, shepherd of my soul, guide me out of this darkness. Each word is a lifeline into the abyss. I kneel, eyes shut, listening intently. Then, as if carried on a breeze, I sense it, a whisper of reassurance, a nudge in my heart promising presence. Dawn breaks, painting the sky in gold. Light filters through the stained glass windows, casting an ethereal glow. I stand by the doorway, captivated by colors waltzing across the pews. A living tapestry, realization settles within me. I am not alone, I am seen. The organist nods as I pass, and I return with a smile, bridging the silent chasm of understanding. Each step feels unburdened, a testament to newfound courage. I step into the morning air, the world crisp and invigorated. The horizon glows with possibility, and with renewed hope I bow my heart to the day, walking forward with purpose. The next night I pause before entering the cathedral. The rain has ceased, leaving a world purged and renewed. I touch the weathered entrance stones, offering a silent prayer of gratitude. Thank you, Lord, for hearing my cry. Inside, the organist plays a soft melody of hope and renewal. Notes dancing like gentle winds over a lake. I find my place in the shadows and light. The rhythm of work now sacred. The mop becomes an instrument of worship. My heart bowing to the Creator. In faith I lift my eyes to the altar, where the eternal flame flickers, a beacon in the night. Fill this cathedral with your presence, and my life with purpose. Amen.
Hospital night held a sacred quiet, rain tapping softly against the large glazed windows, tracing languid rivulets in the glow of the distant streetlights. The polished floor mirrored faint reflections of those passing by. A subtle dance of light and shadow. Alex sat slumped in a chair, face buried in his hands, the contours of his shoulders heavy with the weight of his world. His heart churned with a tempest of anxiety, a maelstrom of fear and uncertainty. Yet, the air around him carried a sterile hope, a promise of rebirth echoing with the faint beeping of machines that stood as silent sentinels to life. Nearby, a warm lamp stood sentinel, casting a soft, gentle light over his turmoil to Alex. It was a tender hand resting on his shoulder, offering a sliver of comfort in the engulfing shadows. He glanced at the lamp, seeking solace, took a deep breath and closed his eyes, retreating within himself to find peace. His heart whispered prayers, earnest and raw, a plea rising from the depths of his soul to the open heavens. God, Lord of mercy, his heart cried, I feel lost and afraid, please guide me. Across the hall, Nurse Sarah moved quietly, her gentle steps barely audible in the enveloping stillness. Her compassionate eyes met his, a silent acknowledgement of his struggle. Her presence a soft assurance in the solitary vigil, silently reminding him that he was not alone.
A gentle revelation, time unfurled with the rain's gentle serenade against the window panes. The clock's slow hands ticked in concert with Alex's anxious heartbeat, each second measured in breaths rather than time. A comforting memory emerged from the turbulent depths, a verse from Psalm 23, like a life preserver tossed into stormy waters. The lamp flickered slightly, its warm glow enveloping him in a cocoon of golden light. Within, Alex felt a divine whisper coursing through the tendrils of his troubled heart, softening and guiding him. He straightened in his seat, his breathing even, a realization dawning, the call to defend truth, but with kindness was his path forward. He eyed his phone, it screen dark and foreboding, yet courage blossomed in the faint reflection of his own eyes. He prepared for a momentous prayer, a conversation with God that would fortify his soul. Shepherd of my soul, I give you my fears. He whispered, his voice barely more than a breath, weaving faith and hope around his heart. Grant me courage to reconcile, to speak truth with love. Help me to reach out in humility. The atmosphere shifted imperceptibly, the air growing thick with promise and possibility. As Sarah passed by with a soft smile, it was a reminder of unseen acts of grace, fluttering just beyond sight, ready to alight in their own time.
The call of reconciliation. With courage as his armor, Alex dialed a number he'd long avoided, his fingers lingering over each digit, embedding them with silent prayers. The ring resonated in his ear, each tone matching the anxious rhythm of his heart. The phone's cool metal served as an anchor, grounding him as he prepared to step out in faith. Hey, it's me, he began softly, his voice trembling, yet sincere, each word a digital prayer sent across the silent waves. I'm sorry for the silence, I want to make things right. The unfolding conversation held its challenges, terrain rough and uncertain, yet words were carefully weighed, each syllable laying a stone in the rebuilding of a long crumbled bridge. As the call concluded, Alex felt a lightness unfurl within him, a burden lifted by grace, freeing him from the chains he'd carried for too long. Outside, the rain softened to a whisper, as if blessing the renewed bond in its gentle cadence. In the warm, forgiving glow of the lamp, Alex felt transformed by prayer, hope, and love rekindled in the silent vigil of the night.
God of all healing, thank you for guiding my steps. Help me to carry to defend truth, but with the grace of kindness. Keep my heart open to your whispers of wisdom, and guide us all in your everlasting peace.
cacti, floor and dawn. The clock struck 4 a.m. Its chime a soft whisper in the silence of an immigrant bakery, wrapped in early darkness. The air was cold, the kind of crispness that only winter knows, and the breath from Maria's lips hovered like ethereal clouds before disappearing into the void. Her small corner of solace was alive, the scent of yeast and warm dough, a comforting embrace as she set to work, the flour dusting her hands like snowflakes on a quiet, untouched field. Maria was not alone in this ritual. Her heart sang a silent hymn to the Holy One as she kneaded the dough. The rhythm of her hands matched the rhythm of her prayer. Lord of mercy, guide me today. She murmured, fingers folding and pressing, each motion a testament of faith. Her movements were not just of a baker, but of a pilgrim offering her work to God. This sanctuary of flower and prayer was a place of refuge from a city that often seemed too vast, too indifferent. It was here that her soul found tranquility amidst the broken chorus of the world outside. Daily loaves, unseen battles. The bakery was more than walls and bread. It was a fragile bridge connecting Maria's past and present. Stories of her homeland woven into each loaf, each with a story that sang of love and hardship in a language both earthly and divine. Yet across the street, a rival bakery loomed, its shadow a reminder of competition and tension. Windows glowing with artificial light, it seemed to stare back at her kitchen with an unblinking gaze. Its owner, Thomas, had been a friend once, before ambition tore their fellowship. This morning, the usual peace that Maria found in her prayer was unsettled. Her mind drifted to Thomas, and a sudden pang of distress filled her heart. There had been rumors of financial struggles on his side, whispers carried by the cold wind between the two bakeries. Maria stopped, closed her eyes, and let out a shaky breath, her hands resting on the counter, now cold and unyielding. Shepherd of my soul, what am I to do? She whispered, the question a fledgling bird taking flight into the unknown expanse of God's grace. Answer in the silence. Later that morning, as the rays of the sun began to warm the world outside, Maria stood by the window, the dough rising behind her like promises of hope. Her earlier prayer echoed in her mind, a dull thrum of unease that lingered like the low hum of a forgotten tune. So she turned again to God, this time not asking beyond her understanding, but listening with the patience of a farmer waiting for answer came not as words but as quiet peace, the kind that settles on the heart like a gentle snowfall, covering the sharp edges of worry with a soft, forgiving blanket. There was a sense, an urging that she could not deny. Share the thought was simple, profound, a clarity that ignited a spark of courage within her. Maria's fingers brushed the cross hanging against her chest. A silent promise formed on her lips, her eyes lifted towards heaven, filled with a new determination. Loaves of reconciliation, wrapping the warm loaves in a cloth, Maria moved with determination across the street. The morning light turning each loaf into golden miracles in her arms. Each step was a prayer, each footfall a reminder of her trust in God's guidance. The cobblestones beneath her feet, a path laid down by angels. The door to Thomas' bakery creaked open, a bell jingling her arrival, a sweet note of hope. Holy One who sees beyond our fears, I thank you for the courage to act in love, for the whisper of your voice in the silence. Guide my heart to always seek your way, and let my life be a whispered prayer to you. In humility I find your strength. Amen. Shadows of dusk. The hospital hallway was steeped in shadows. Sunset casting long fingers through the windows, warming the sterile floors that stretched in both directions. Seemingly endless and uneasy quiet reigned, broken by distant machine hums and nurses' muffled conversations that flowed in undertones like a river of subdued emotions. Sam sat in a plastic chair, hands clasped, knuckles white, the weight of familial estrangement etched into his haggard face, each line a testament to time and unspoken hurt. An old clock ticked audibly on the wall, marking time's relentless passage, each second a reminder of moments lost. Winter's cold breath gusted against the windows, rattling them with a force that mirrored the chill within Sam's heart. Frost-glazed streets lay in stark silence, appearing as deserted as his spirit felt. His mind replayed the argument with his estranged brother Jordan, the shouted words, the slammed door. Years had passed since they last spoke, harsh words still echoing vividly as if spoken moments ago. Now Jordan lay somewhere beyond those walls, clinging tenuously to life. Sam's heart ached with deep regret, a heavy stone lodged in his chest. In a moment of honesty, he whispered, voice low, Lord of mercy, do this alone. A nurse passed, her heels clicking softly, a whisper on the polished floor. Her brief, compassionate gaze met Sam's, offering an unspoken assurance that grace was nearer than it felt, a reminder of humanity in a place defined by its clinical detachment. She moved gracefully down the corridor, leaving a trail of hope in her wake. Night wrapped the world outside in a deep indigo cloak. The hospital, a bright island in shadow, Sam stood. The act feeling monumental, like lifting a heavy burden from shoulders weary of carrying the past, needing to move. He wandered the hallway, fluorescent lights casting a cold glow on sterile walls adorned with faded art, a poor substitute for warmth and comfort. The walls seemed to close in, pressing with unspoken fears and silent prayers, each step echoing lonely in the quiet. Shepherd of my soul, Sam whispered, leaning against the wall, the cool surface grounding him amidst swirling thoughts. How did we drift so far apart? Show me the way back to him if it's not too late. His prayer was a plea from the very depths of his being, seeking solid ground, reaching for something transcend, something only God could provide. As he prayed, warmth bloomed slowly in his chest, tentative but persistent, like spring's first wildflower breaking through winter's hold. Compelled to reach out, he sensed an encouraging nudge, reassuring and steady, a whisper of assurance that he was not alone in this journey toward reconciliation. Sparks of renewal, Sam's phone, a cold rectangle in his hand, felt both fragile and powerful, a lifeline and a barrier. His trembling fingers scrolled to Jordan's name, a simple entry weighted with years and memories, the embodiment of both past pain and potential healing. Fear whispered it was too late, that forgiveness was unreachable, a bridge too burn to ever cross again. But warmth flared within, urging him on like a flame kindled by hope, an ember refusing to be snuffed out. He pressed call, breath hitching as the line connected, each ring echoing like a heartbeat, rhythmic with his chest's frantic drumming. Then Jordan's voice, frail yet familiar, emerged like an old melody rediscovered after a long silence, harmonizing with Sam's longing for redemption. Words rushed forth, apologies, explanations, tumbling over each other in their haste to mend what was broken. Sam's heart softened, his voice cracking, seeking forgiveness he felt unworthy to ask for, yet desperately needed. In those moments, past grievances melted away like autumn leaves in a gentle wind, their brittle sharpness giving way to the soft earth below. Their conversation became a prayer, a shared surrender, a step toward healing that had seemed impossible only hours before. Silence followed, rich and full. a sacred space where hearts Act I the unsent letter. The mountain road wound under the pale dawn. Winter holding tightly, yet whispering of spring beneath the frost. Ellie moved along the path, clutching a crumpled, unsent letter intended for her estranged father, a plea for reconciliation. Her steps crunched the leaves, echoing her inner turmoil amidst the silence. Ellie knelt on cold stone at the summit, the letter held to her heart. Lord of mercy, she whispered, her breath melding with the morning air. I'm lost, and I can't do this alone. I need your guidance. Her prayer, a thread of faith, rose silently, seeking transformation and peace in the silence. She felt a gentle nudge in her soul, a promise of renewal, like the first bud pushing through frost. The burden she carried lightened, shared by unseen hands. A flicker of hope ignited. A distant call, returning home. Morning light softened the world, lightening Ellie's heart despite the letter's weight in her pocket. Back in her kitchen, the lamps glow, underskirt the divine whispers from the mountain. She tried again, pen trembling over a fresh page. Father, she wrote, I've missed you. I want to mend the broken pieces. Her words built a bridge over their divide. Tears blurred her vision, but she continued. She prayed, surrendering her worries. Shepherd of my soul, grant me courage and peace. Help me bridge the distance between us. The courage to act, the letter and headed to the post office. The air had slightly warmed, a promise of life in the breeze. Each step was guided by her shepherd towards a hopeful touch. At the post office she hesitated, the letter tied in her grip. Her father's distant image loomed as unyielding as the mountain, steadying her courage. A gentle conviction enveloped her, warming her spirit. I am with you always, echoed in her soul, a sacred reminder of divine presence. Resolved, she handed the letter to the clerk, watching it join others, a symbolic act, marking both an end and a beginning. She exhaled deeply, feeling liberation wash over her. Ellie emerged into sunlight, inhaling hope. The uncertain path ahead was now interwoven with healing, faith and newfound courage. The world, vast and inviting, seemed ready to welcome
hours of doubt and fear, be my guiding light. Grant me strength to seek reconciliation and wisdom to act with love. May your peace be the compass of my soul, leading me towards the dawn of new beginnings with grace. Amen.
behind the rugged mountains, leaving the sky a canvas of gold and crimson before shadows cloak the winding road. My old truck, a relic of simpler times, sputtered to a halt on the gravel shoulder. Through the window, the last colors of the day melted into night. The letter in my coat pocket felt heavy, a secret kept too long, a confession to my father that fear and regret had held captive. Stepping into the evening chill, the air scented with pine and earth. My feet found a trail of the hillside. Each step echoed the distance I felt from those I loved. Lord of mercy, I whispered, I'm lost. Do I send this letter or let silence swallow it? The wind rustled the trees, whispering back assurance, a gentle touch to my troubled soul.
The echo of prayer into the wilderness, until I reached a rocky outcrop under a starlit sky. The stars scattered like jewels cast a silvery glow. I knelt, the stones biting into my knees, and opened my heart in raw, unfiltered prayer.
Holy One, I breathed, I fear rejection. Grant me the courage to reconcile, a warmth unfurled within, a whisper of God's presence kindling like a flame in the sacred silence. I could almost see my Father's face, aged yet softened by love. It became clear I must reach out and let go of secrets to unburden my heart. A resolution formed, urging me forward like a shepherd guiding a lost sheep.
A call across the distance, the descent of my truck was deliberate, each step measured by newfound courage. The chill hung on my limbs, but inside was a flicker of hope. I slid into the driver's seat and retrieved my phone.
The letter could wait, I needed his voice. Trembling fingers dialed his number, each ring an echo of my anxious heartbeat. When he answered, his voice was a mix of surprise and warmth. Son, I took a deep breath, drawing courage from the very air. Father, I began, my voice growing stronger with each word. I'm sorry, I want to come home, if you'll have me. Silence hung briefly, then his response came soft and sure. The doors have always been open, my son. As we spoke, words of forgiveness and understanding flowed freely. The burden of hidden words melted away, replaced by lightness like dawn chasing the night. Shepherd of my soul, Thank you for guiding me through shadows and silence. Grant me courage to reconcile, to speak truth wrapped in love. Let your light shine through my renewed path, guiding me home. Amen. Amen.
hospital night held a sacred quiet, rain tapping softly against the large, glazed windows, tracing languid rivulets in the glow of the distant streetlights. The polished floor mirrored faint reflections of those passing by. A subtle dance of light and shadow. Alex sat slumped in a chair, face buried in his hands, the contours of his shoulders heavy with the weight of his world. His heart churned with a tempest of anxiety, a maelstrom of fear and uncertainty. Yet, the air around him carried a sterile hope, a promise of rebirth echoing with the faint beeping of machines that stood as silent sentinels to life. Nearby, a warm lamp stood sentinel, casting a soft, gentle light over his turmoil to Alex. It was a tender hand resting on his shoulder, offering a sliver of comfort in the engulfing shadows. He glanced at the lamp, seeking solace, took a deep breath and closed his eyes, retreating within himself to find peace. His heart whispered prayers, earnest and raw, a plea rising from the depths of his soul to the open heavens. God, Lord of mercy, his heart cried, I feel lost and afraid, please guide me. Across the hall, Nurse Sarah moved quietly, her gentle steps barely audible in the enveloping stillness. Her compassionate eyes met his, a silent acknowledgement of his struggle. Her presence a soft assurance in the solitary vigil, silently reminding him that he was not alone.
A gentle revelation, time unfurled with the rain's gentle serenade against the window panes. The clock's slow hands ticked in concert with Alex's anxious heartbeat, each second measured in breaths rather than time. A comforting memory emerged from the turbulent depths, a verse from Psalm 23, like a life preserver tossed into stormy waters. The lamp flickered slightly, its warm glow enveloping him in a cocoon of golden light. Within, Alex felt a divine whisper coursing through the tendrils of his troubled heart, softening and guiding him. He straightened in his seat, his breathing even, a realization dawning, the call to defend truth, but with kindness was his path forward. He eyed his phone, it screen dark and foreboding, yet courage blossomed in the faint reflection of his own eyes. He prepared for a momentous prayer, a conversation with God that would fortify his soul. Shepherd of my soul, I give you my fears. He whispered, his voice barely more than a breath, weaving faith and hope around his heart. Grant me courage to reconcile, to speak truth with love. Help me to reach out in humility. The atmosphere shifted imperceptibly, the air growing thick with promise and possibility. As Sarah passed by with a soft smile, it was a reminder of unseen acts of grace, fluttering just beyond sight, ready to alight in their own time.
The call of reconciliation. With courage as his armor, Alex dialed a number he'd long avoided, his fingers lingering over each digit, embedding them with silent prayers. The ring resonated in his ear, each tone matching the anxious rhythm of his heart. The phone's cool metal served as an anchor, grounding him as he prepared to step out in faith. "Hey, it's me," he began softly, his voice trembling, yet sincere, each word a digital prayer sent across the silent waves.
I'm sorry for the silence, I want to make things right. The unfolding conversation held its challenges, terrain rough and uncertain, yet words were carefully weighed, each syllable laying a stone in the rebuilding of a long crumbled bridge. As the call concluded, Alex felt a lightness unfurl within him, a burden lifted by grace, freeing him from the chains he'd carried for too long. Outside, the rain softened to a whisper, as if blessing the renewed bond in its gentle cadence. In the warm, forgiving glow of the lamp, Alex felt transformed by prayer, hope, and love rekindled in the silent vigil of the night.
God of all healing, thank you for guiding my steps. Help me to carry your light into the world, to defend truth, but with the grace of kindness. Keep my heart open to your whispers of wisdom, and guide us all in your everlasting peace.
Breath of heaven. Acti, shadows of doubt. The seminary corridors felt like rivers of silence, stretching into eternity with a hushed reverence. The thick tapestries absorbing my footfalls as though the very walls conspired to keep my presence a secret. Dust motes swirled in the last light of the setting sun, casting long shadows through stained glass windows, turning the hallway into a kaleidoscope of vivid orange and deep blues. My heart felt like a tangled mess akin to the trees outside, whipped by a restless wind. Doubts crowded my mind, their presence insistent and unyielding, as if the very air I breathed was tainted with uncertainty. Father Michael, the old priest, sat in calm repose on the chapel's oak bench, his eyes half open. The very picture of serene contemplation, his presence was as familiar and enduring as the flickering lamp above the tabernacle, a steady flame, barely wavering, yet undeniably alive.
Father, I called softly, uncertain if my voice was a disruption or a plea. He opened his eyes, but remained silent, inviting me to speak or to fall into the silence with him. His calm demeanor, an unspoken assurance that this sacred space held room for both.
I slumped beside him, the weight of my doubts pressing heavily on my shoulders. Does God really hear us? Or am I just talking into the wind? He lifted a wrinkled hand, more eloquent in its silence than any words could ever be, a gentle invitation to explore the deeper questions of the soul. The chapel's air was thick with an ancient reverence, and I felt the weight of it settling around me. I closed my eyes, willing myself to pray, but the words tangled like fish in a net, elusive and slippery in the face of my uncertainties. Later, alone in my room, the familiar surroundings offered little comfort. I fell to my knees, feeling the cool touch of the wooden floor through the thin fabric of my trousers. The shadows crept in even here, though the pale glow from the window stretched across the floor like a gentle reminder of day. A crisis loomed, my heart heavy with unanswered questions. With hands folded tightly in an almost desperate clasp, I sought solace in the act of prayer. Lord of mercy, I whispered, my voice a mere breath in the quiet room. If you are truly there, hear my cry, I'm drowning in doubt. Show me that my prayers are more than empty echoes. I remained still, listening, the silence a thick, expectant blanket. The world outside fell away, leaving just my breathing and the faint rustle of trees beyond the window. For the first time it felt less like a ritual and more a raw, unguarded plea, a begging for an answer, for a sign that I was heard. The next evening, drawn by an inexplicable pull, I returned to the chapel I sat, my focus drawn to the lamp's small flame. Father Michael was there as always, his silhouette serene against the gathering dusk, offering a quiet companionship that asked for nothing in return. This time I sought no words from him. Instead, I settled silently at the altar's foot, letting my breathing match the rhythm of my heart. As I watched the flame, its steady flicker whispered to my spirit, let prayer be your breathing. A thought intruded, soft as a dawn breeze. It wasn't an audible voice, but a whisper in my soul, an echo of the divine that stirred something deep within. I closed my eyes, surrendering to the gentle urging, shepherd of my soul. I prayed the words unhurried, each syllable a step in faith. Guide me not just in sound, but in silence. Teach me to listen. An unexpected peace washed over me, gentle yet profound, as if the air itself had cleared. When I opened my eyes, the chapel seemed different, more alive, more sacred. Every shadow and beam of light a testament to the presence I had longed to feel. As if my own eyes had finally seen it, for the sanctuary it truly was. The turning prayer. Kneeling, I unclenched my hands, releasing the tension I'd carried for far too long. This prayer came from the heart. Holy One, take my uncertainties, I surrender them. Fill me with courage to walk where your light leads. A warmth spread within, a gentle flame inside, mirrored by the lamp above, offering a silent promise of divine companionship. Rising, I felt lighter. Each step forward, leaving the weight of doubt behind. Father Michael caught my eye, a knowing glint in his gaze. Though he spoke not a word, his presence affirmed what my heart had finally discerned, that God spoke in whispers, in breaths of prayer, in light fluttering, in silence. Lord of all wisdom, breathe your spirit into my a window for the light.
journey. As the sun dipped lower, painting the sky amber and rose, the bus moved steadily over the desert highway. Inside, the passenger swayed with its motion, enveloped in old leather and dust, mingling with anticipation. Among them, Sarah sat quietly, clutching a thermos filled with her grandmother's spiced tea. A comforting essence of warmth and nostalgia, the crisp air whispered of winter, promising spring's gentle embrace. Sarah gazed out the window, her thoughts tangled with uncertainty. Her meditation was interrupted by an older man beside her, his kind eyes framed by silver hair radiated warmth. May I? He gestured to the thermos with a nod. Grateful, Sarah poured a cup, the sweet scent rising like a prayer. The man offered a verse, be a window for the light, resonating in the dim bus, inviting her to embrace the divine. As night cloaked the journeying bus, rain began tapping the windows, its rhythm matching Sarah's anxious heart. The rain whispered renewal, she closed her eyes, retreating within, seeking her soul's voice. Lord of mercy, she whispered, I am lost and burdened, show me the way. Her prayer floated upwards, mingling with the steam, silence followed, alive and listening. A peace seeped into her heart, dispelling shadows. Beside her, the stranger murmured amen, joining her plea, strengthening her resolve. Surrendering to the light, the bus journeyed through the rain-soaked night, feeling the shift within. Sarah opened her eyes to find the man watching with understanding. Sometimes, he said softly, we forget to let the light through. His words soothed her, and she realized she needed to release her fears. It was time to open a window to let divine light through her soul. A gentle resolve took root, courage for transformation dawned. The road stretched ahead, paved with promises. As dawn unfurled, Sarah bowed her head, a transformation blooming in her heart. Holy One, she breathed, give me the courage to be a window for your light. Confession at dawn, spring stirred in her heart as Sarah turned to the stranger, her voice clear. She shared her story, offering her vulnerability, her mistakes and unconfessed truths. The man listened deeply, offering no judgment, only understanding that wrapped her in grace. Empowered by confession, Sarah felt a strength flow within, unshackling her spirit. She resolved to face those she needed with honesty. When she reached her destination, squeezed her hand warm, passing as a silent blessing of hope. The bus pulled into the station as the sun rose, casting a hopeful glow. Sarah stepped into the morning air, aware of the transformation within, as though she had become a window for light, a vessel of grace and truth. Shepherd of my soul, guide my steps through shadowed paths. May your light shine through me, dispelling the darkness within. Grant me the courage to speak truth and the grace to offer love. In your presence I find peace and strength. Act I, the storm before dawn. In the stillness of the pre-dawn hour, the soft rain brushes against the small windows of Gregorio's bakery, a gentle whisper reminiscent of heaven's voice, delicate yet undeniable inside. The air is imbued with the scent of fermenting yeast, mingling with the warm aroma of flour dust that swirls like ethereal snowflakes, settling upon every surface and enveloping the room in a light, comforting blanket of peace. Gregorio, a devoted immigrant from a distant land, stands alone amidst the silence, kneading dough with steady, calloused hands that speak of years of labor and love. His heart, however, is far from tranquil. It bears the heavy burden of sustaining his small family through the modest earnings of this humble bakery. He pauses, leaning against the worn wooden table that bears the marks of countless mornings like this one. Lord of mercy, he prays aloud, his voice a gentle plea that rises with the steam from the ovens. Give me strength to face another day. I am weary, and the weight is heavy. Guide my hands and heart. With faith born of necessity, the rhythm of kneading resumes, the dough miraculously yielding under his fingers as if in response to his prayer. A tactile dance of faith against the creeping despair. The presence of the Holy One feels near, like a tender yet firm embrace. Yet Gregorio wonders if his fervent words have reached beyond the ceiling of his humble shop to touch the heavens above. The temptation of rivalry. Barely an hour later, the rising sun begins to paint the sky with the first strokes of dawn. Delicate hues of pink and gold spilling over the horizon. Gregorio prepares the first batch of bread, the loaves swelling in the oven, their golden crusts forming with the promise of sustenance. As he works, thoughts of Samuel, the rival baker on the next street over, intrude upon his piece Samuel's store, with its bustling customers, has drawn many away from Gregorio's own modest business. A flicker of envy ignites in his heart, threatening to consume him, a temptation to bitterness he cannot easily extinguish. Driven by the storm within, Gregorio finds himself standing at the window. The rain still falling and gentle. Persistent drops, his eyes close, and a prayer stirs within him. Raw and honest, filled with anger and confusion. Shepherd of my soul, he whispers, the words trembling in the stillness. Why do you let my bread go unchosen? Teach me to trust your path, even when my own feet falter. In the silence that ensues, a new thought blossoms in his mind, delicate yet insistent, as if carried on the whispering wind, a subtle divine nudge towards something unexpected. The bread of brotherhood, as the morning unfolds in a gentle cascade of light. Gregorio takes his fresh loaves, their crust golden and inviting, and wraps them with care. Like precious offerings despite the inner turmoil, a quiet resolve forms within him. He will visit Samuel. With each step in the rain, the weight of his burden shifts slightly, transforming into something lighter. A relinquishment of the rivalry that has long shadowed his heart. At Samuel's door, Gregorio pauses, taking a deep breath before entering. The sight of the rival baker glancing up in surprise is almost comforting. Without a word, Gregorio offers the bread, his eyes meeting Samuel's with an unexpected warmth. A gesture of reconciliation. I know times are difficult for both of us, Gregorio says, his voice barely above a whisper. But let us lift each other in love. The act of giving, guided by a quiet prayer fulfilled, brings peace. A small redemption wrapped in a simple, vulnerable gesture. In this moment, Gregorio senses the Holy One's smile woven into the shared silence. A presence as tangible as the bread they share. Bread shared, hearts lightened, as the morning rain relinquishes its hold and gives way to gentle sunlight. The two bakers break bread together. Each bite carries a new sense of communion, a tangible grace that transcends their competition, soaking into their souls as deeply as the rain into the earth. Gregorio feels his heart lighten, the envy and bitterness washed away like the rain-soaked streets outside. In this unexpected companionship, the gentle guidance of the shepherd of his soul becomes ever clearer. He understands now that the path of humility and love is one that he can tread with a strength not his own, a path made easier by grace and shared humanity.
Lord of mercy, who breathes life into the weary soul and guides our hands in love, teach us to see